Welcome to my Bajerski YouTube channel. How you doing? One of my favourite tops, actually. I hadn't had this on for a while. Like a bit of Buddha. Look, I got a bit of Buddha. Look. Hey, you got butter on your arm. Oh, let me clean it off. It don't come off. Not for 20 years. Oh, I said I was going to start making some videos on crystals, and I'm a man to my word whenever I have time. It's been a busy day today. I look a bit tired because I've been rushing around and it's 38 degrees or 35 degrees on this mountain. It's hot. Feeling hot, hot, hot. Yeah, I need a fan. I got one over there, but I need one up here as well. Anyway, let's talk about a lovely crystal. Shasta, Mount Shasta. Have you heard of it? I think it's in California. It's some beautiful big mountain with mystical powers like most mountains have. That's why I live on one. So yeah, here it is. It's a kind of opal, but it's not just a kind of opal. There's something very unique about this crystal. So I'm going to talk. I haven't touched this crystal for yonks. I don't know, years ago. Probably when I first started, the first 2 years, I remember somebody pointing it out in a shop. I was in, where were we? I was with my family. We were in this big shop, and gosh, I can't remember. France! Oh yes, it was France. It was Paris. We went into this big, beautiful, very well-known, was it in the Louvre? It was down some stairs. You guys would probably know it better than me. It was down some stairs, and it's a big, fancy, beautiful shop, and it's all crystals. Anyway, shut up, Mark. Get on with it. So I don't really know the composition, but there's lots of very unusual energies in this. Extremely unusual. So anyway, I remember going to circle nights, and then we kind of broke free from the circle, me and another couple of others, and we started wanting to, oh, you're going to laugh, right? Astral travel. We heard all about it, and I'm saying, I'd really love to try that, you know? So we said, okay, we'll start doing it. And this came along with Moldavite and Herkimer Diamond. And we tried like 50 or 60 different types of crystals to the astral traveling, that energy of extraterrestrial as well. So it was kind of unique. And what I'd do is we'd spend the mid-evening, around about 7 to 8 o'clock, meditating with them and finding that we had kind of experiences. But my experiences were far better when I was at home and I was sat in my own company, or I would be by my tree, sit by my tree and just basically hold it and meditate or fall asleep with it. So this crystal holds some unique energy within it. And that energy, coupled with Moldavite and Herkimer Diamond, is pretty powerful. In fact, I was going to make that into a trio, especially for people who wanted to astral travel. I didn't do it as yet, but anyway, it's pretty cool. So what did I experience with this? Well, there were a number of months that went by when I was working with this crystal that I started to experience a very, very, I'd say, potent energy. And that energy was almost like, is this heavy or is it light? Is it light or is it dark? Almost like, am I going in the right direction? And I think a lot of people do mention that. I've had it mentioned a few times, and I say no. If you're in the light, you're in the light. You can never be pulled into the dark. But it is interesting that people mention that to me, or they did back then. One of the ladies said, I felt a little bit like I was going somewhere where I shouldn't be going. And I said, that's because of fear. That's not really your spirit saying, oh, this is bad. It's just that when we don't know something, we fear it. And I think she agreed to a degree, but there was still that fear there. For me, I kind of felt, oh, this is really, really interesting. And it was more of a, when you go into them rooms and there's somebody ready to jump out at you. We've got one here, and sometimes they do them in theme parks, and they're called like haunted houses or scary places where people jump out. Something's going to happen, and it's not bad, but you have that fear of it could happen at any time. That's the kind of feeling I got when I was meditating. That's the only way I can describe it. However, some great things happened with this crystal for me because it elevated my energy to the understanding that we're not alone. And Moldavite did that as well. Of course it did. But this, coupled with Moldavite and Herkimer Diamond, it was kind of like bizarre. One of the things that I noticed with this crystal a long time ago was the numbing effect. I don't know if anybody understands that. You might know it. But the numbing effect to me is when you go paralyzed on your face and you don't feel your face anymore. If you hold it, sometimes you have the same effect and in your heart. Somebody once asked me what the numbing effect was, and I said, there's a shift or a change in your frequency that you've no idea what it is, and the only description you can give it is numb. Does that mean it's bad? Does it mean it's dangerous? Maybe that's a frequency that you need to get into to be able to travel, or for your spirit, or for whatever, your mind to clear. And nothing ever negative happened to me, but some amazing things. One of the things that I found myself is being somewhere completely different, and I found that, and it was really weird because at one point what happened to me is that it took me a while to get, and I didn't really I think what I'm trying to say is sometimes you don't understand what you're seeing until you see it. So I hope some people understand this. Maybe I'm going too deep. So I'd say 16 years ago, I was sat down and there were ants all over, tons of them, and they were everywhere. And as I looked across this water, which was like water I've never seen, it was almost green and turquoise, and I've never seen anything so beautiful, and the sand looked white. And I could see a boat next to me, and boats in the water which didn't look like boats. They looked weird, and they got these two like flips, two pieces of wood stabilizing it. The tree that I was under was kind of like facing, was in the ground but coming above me. And as I was meditating, I could see beings coming from the water towards me. And as they came towards me, we had a conversation. And then that night disappeared, and it was like really weird. I don't want to go too much into detail, but years later, my daughter and wife then wanted to go to Thailand, to Phuket, and to train, because China is a Muay Thai instructor and fighter, and she wanted to train with the best fighters in the world. So they went, and then I went a month later, and I said, can we go by the sea, by the water, after they trained? And we all went down there, and I sat down, and I don't know if you know them feelings of deja vu. All of a sudden I got this feeling of deja vu because I looked down and I see all these ants everywhere. I look at the sea and think, oh my God, that is so beautiful. Another boat with these wooden things at either side, and above me is this tree. I went cold. I was like, my hairs on my arms stood up, and I'm like, I just needed to take a moment. I never said anything to either of my wife then and my daughter. I just took that moment in, and I had tears in my eyes, and I just said thank you. So I actually found the place where I was, and this was confirmation to me that you can astral travel, you can go places, and those places do exist and they're real. People may argue and say you're full of this and you're talking rubbish, but I know my dream. I know that moment when I astral traveled, whether it was a dream or whether it was reality. I know the beings that I spoke to. I know the conversation I had, and I know the ants on the floor because I felt like I was being bitten by an ant. I know the tree that was above me, which was exactly the same tree. In all shape and form, and the boat, what was on the sand, was there. It was like I've been here before. That first moment of deja vu, and the feelings that you get is, have I been in another life or something like that? And then I realized, oh my God, it was Mount Shasta. It was Mount Shasta. I was holding that crystal. I was meditating with it. I put it on my third eye, and I had Moldavite, and I had Herkimer Diamond, and I remember these beings. There was 2 at the front and 3 at the back, and they came towards me, and you don't like have a conversation. You talk without speaking. It's a form of telepathy, and it isn't all like it spent 10 hours. It can be a few moments and you get a download of what the conversation was. So there is no time and space when you're in that energy. I think I've gone off one, right? I've gone off on one totally. I guess all I want to say is that this crystal holds amazing energy. And what I know of my clients and the shamans that I work with told me about this mountain that I never went to. And I know it's in America. If I said the wrong place, it's not my fault. I don't know much about this other than how it helped me on my journey as a healer with crystals. I can tell you everything about this, of how it helps people, because from that moment on, I was getting men, scientists, doctors, loads of people who didn't believe in anything, and I used to just lie them down and stick it on the forehead, just like Moldavite, and sure enough, they always get up and say something, and it's something that made them feel differently that they've never felt before. So it's a really great crystal, in my opinion, for people who are stubborn, the people who don't believe, people who have no belief system in anything, no faith, no purpose, I guess. And I think just wearing this crystal brings that out in them, in the sense of that moment where you can't explain something, but then all of a sudden the penny drops that there's more to life than what you thought. So that's good on that side. I like that. I like the side that it's also fantastic for people who want to go above and beyond the safety of spirituality. Right, I'm just comfortable liking my angels. Don't go any further. Right, what's extraterrestrials? Well, it's just like us. They're just different suits, but their spirit is the spirit, and you get good and bad, happy, sad, and they're just like you and me, but there's a different they obviously decided to go to a different body, a different species from a different place. Again, I'm going a bit deep here, so let me tell you other things about this crystal. It's also a grounding crystal, so if you're into any kind of healing work, it's a great grounding crystal too. It's actually fantastic for bringing in the balance when you're healing people. So if you're wanting to heal, if you're a speaker, if you're somebody who works with the public, it keeps you at a really good peace balance level. The other things that I liked about this crystal for meditation, 100%, for anything to do with I guess mantra, yoga, Pilates, anything like with exercise and movement. This crystal brings that kind of, and you're not flexible. Yeah, it's kind of elasticity, flexibility, because when you are meditating, you flex. You have a flexible mind, and that goes too with the body. So if you're doing exercises, it's fantastic for that, because it really does bring flexibility to the mind, body, and spirit. I don't know whether I'm saying these things right and correct. I know what I'm thinking. I'm probably not saying it very well. It's definitely a crystal that helps open and make you aware, which makes sense to people who are stubborn. But it is an elevating crystal. It brings you to a higher level of consciousness, more awareness. So if you don't want to be more aware, don't wear it, because it really brings a lot of awareness. It brings clarity, visibility, and things that you've never seen before. Even through the day, if you've just got it on, you'll feel different energy. So I guess the best thing to do is go online and go onto maybe YouTube and type out the word Mount Shasta, and when you do that, just scroll and just have a look. You'll see, I don't know much about people's experiences, but I do know that people who I know have been there often saw extraterrestrials, often saw vehicles that were not of this world, and different kinds of animals and what have you, all sorts of stuff. But anyway, again, that's a bit OTT for a lot of people and a bit too much to digest, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't take away from an amazing mountain, amazing energy in that mountain. And this is the energy within it. So Mount Shasta is the place, this is the crystal, and it's a form of opal. And that's really about as much as I know. I struggle to get it. When I do, I love it, and it's been years since I've had it. But it brought back memories when I found some pieces the other month, 4 months ago, worked on them and then had them mounted. So there you go, have a look at it. It's unique, it's unusual, it's kind of eerie as well. It's like, oh, there's all sorts going on in there. But it's lovely. It's a beautiful crystal. So I hope I've induced. I ain't induced nothing. Introduced. I need a juice. Give me a drink. What's wrong with you? Stop. Also, this crystal stops you from speaking properly. Probably best, actually. Shut up, Mark, and just meditate. That makes more sense. All right, guys, I'm going to go. I will be putting a few of these pieces up on Bajerski.com in the next hours or days, couple of days. Within these hours or days, I've only got 18 pieces, I think, or is it 13? Not many. But I did try and get some more a while ago, but it might take a while. But there you go. At least some are going to be on the website. If you're interested in them, just keep looking on Bajerski.com and you click on shop, and what you'll find is when the shop comes up, all new crystals come up. So just scroll down and you can see all the new crystals. I've been lagging a bit, to be honest. I haven't been working. I'm a naughty boy. I've been putting a lot of work into interviews, and I've been doing some great interviews and stuff. So you're going to see them, and like radio. I've done a couple of things with radio and trying to get people to come onto my show. So I've really kind of neglected uploading crystals, but I'm going to have to get back to it in the next few days. That's it then. That's my life story. Thank you very much. Have a most beautiful day with your crystals, and thank you for going to markbajerski.com and buying your authentic, beautiful and unusual crystals worked on by myself for the time that I did. I hope you love them. I hope you love their energy. Take care, guys. Thanks. Bye.